What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. And this week, once again, we're going to be talking about the Beast Broadhead. Now, you guys know that I've been running this head since the beginning of the season, and I promise to keep you guys updated on my overall thoughts and opinions, and then also the performance of the Beast Broadhead. Now, if you guys remember a couple weeks back, I did post a video going over my Michigan hunt where I shot this 8-point on October 8th. In that video, I talk about the hunt, I talk about the shot angle, the recovery, the blood trail, and how I think the Beast Broadhead played a significant role in my ability to recover this buck on an unfavorable shot. Now, if you guys are interested in checking that video out, I will put a picture of the thumbnail. You guys can kind of go back and take a look at that and watch that video if you want. But I did get a complete pass through on that deer, and the broadhead or the Beast Broadhead, keep in mind this is a titanium 125, did come out in perfect condition. There was no damage to the ferrule, no damage to the tips. The blades were still razor sharp and the broadhead still functioned perfectly. So after cleaning it up, putting a little bit of gun oil in it and cycling it, I threw this back in the quiver with full confidence that it was going to perform again. Now, luckily for me, I was down in Indiana with Sunrise Archery during the first weekend of November and was lucky enough to harvest a nice public land Indiana 6-point. So real quick, I want to walk you guys through this hunt, and then we'll talk about the performance of the Beast Broadhead and the shape that it was in after harvesting the second animal with the exact same head. Now, I did kill this buck on November 10th, and I first had an opportunity at this deer at 1 p.m. He came in dogging 2 does. I had him at 19 yards and was unable to get a shot off at this buck, which was super frustrating. This buck knew something was wrong with the area. He couldn't see me, couldn't smell me, so he slowly worked off. He did not spook, and then I was actually able to get a video of this deer at roughly about 80 yards before he went back into this bottom. Now, luckily for me, I knew that I was set up very tight to doe bedding. I knew that there was probably a good chance that I was going to see another buck, but I had no idea that this buck was going to give me a second chance at him. He came back in at 3 p.m., but like I said, he definitely knew something was a little fishy with the area, so he was approaching very cautiously, and he was constantly looking up into the tree that I was in every time he paused. Now, as he continued to work in, eventually he stopped behind a big tree. It hit his head, concealed my movement, and at that opportunity, I drew back, got on the side of my platform, and then just waited for him to make another step out into an opening that I had. When he had stepped out, he was quartered to me, and I held on his front shoulder, hoping that he would take another step and turn broadside. But right before he took that step, he decided to look back up into that tree, and I knew just based on his body language and could see it in his eyes that he definitely seen me at that point, and I knew that I was not going to get another chance at this buck. So I sent the arrow with complete confidence that the Beast Broadhead was going to do its job. And this arrow came in basically right in front of the front shoulder and then exited out middle of the body. Now, I got pretty much a complete pass through. My fletchings did hang up, so I found the last 5 inches of my arrow after I had cleaned the buck, but that arrow passed completely through. I had blood immediately at the point of impact, but then the deer ran downhill, and because of the angle of the shot, I was shooting down on him. It came in high, exited low. I didn't have a lot of blood once he started to angle downhill or run downhill. The deer did go about 100 yards and then died in a drainage. Now, when the deer died in the drainage, there was blood everywhere, and then kind of leading up to the drainage, I started to find a little bit more blood on the track. And again, I'm not 100% sure if I passed through the shoulder or went in front of the shoulder. I did have to rely on a local meat processor to get this deer taken care of, to be able to bring him home. So I can't confirm, like I said, if it went through the shoulder or passed in front of it, but what I do know is that the broadhead did definitely make contact with some heavy bone, either the shoulder or the rib on the exit. Once I found the broadhead, the tip was in great condition, the ferrule was in great condition, there was no bending of the blades, but the blades definitely had some chatter on them, and they were dull to the point where I could no longer shave hair. Now, I did try to resharpen these blades. I tried, my first attempt was with my Work Sharp jig, which I've used to sharpen other fixed blade broadheads previously before, and unfortunately unfortunately, because it's not recommended to take these blades out of the ferrule, I couldn't get it at a good angle to resharpen it. So my second attempt was to actually use some diamond plate stones or some sharpening stones. Now I was able to work out some of the chatter on the one blade, and I'm going to play around with this a little bit more, but it's definitely not razor sharp to the point where I would throw it back in the quiver for a third deer. So overall, super happy with these broadheads. I know they're expensive, but they are definitely not a one and done. I'm going to continue to try to resharpen this. Again, if I can't, it's not a huge loss. I'll just save it as a practice head going forward. I do buy these broadheads with my own money. I don't have any affiliation with Beast. I've actually purchased probably a total of 8 broadheads for this season alone. So I know that they're expensive and I know the investment that goes into it. But this is definitely, like I said, by far one of the best mechanicals that I've personally tested out. So I'm very happy with the performance. I'm going to continue to run them. I'll continue to shoot deer throughout the season. I got a couple more tags to fill here in Michigan. I don't know if I'll continue to update you guys on the performance of the Beast Broadhead as far as like YouTube videos. I'll probably continue to update you guys on Instagram through stories and posts. So if you guys want to kind of follow along throughout the season, make sure you guys go and follow us on Instagram. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys have any other questions, comments, obviously leave them below. You guys can reach out directly on Instagram. I'm always happy to help. And if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. You guys' support greatly helps us out, keeps us doing what we're doing. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you guys on the next one.